everyone. How goes it? Let me just go ahead and mute my phone. Uh-oh. Let me mute the audio here too. How do I do this? How do I mute this audio? How do I mute the audio? I'm having a dance party in my kitchen to my new music. Hello. Okay, let me just pop this open. I'm getting settled. The timer started with not nearly enough time to go. How do I go ahead and pop out live chat? Doesn't want to pop out live chat. This might not want to pop out. I may have to go ahead and just deal with it as is. Let me see if I can lower the volume. There we go. Volume's lowered. Hit play on the thingy. We are live. Why can I not? There we go. Okay, hi. How's it going? I'm Alex Radcliffe from BoardGameCo, and welcome to your totally weekly live stream that is totally weekly. Let's go and get caught up to chat over here. Uh-oh, I just lost chat. This is a mess. This is a mess. How do I... Okay. Go to live, go to there, go to chat. There we go. There's chat. When I woke up this morning, BGC Weekly Live is all I really wanted for the day. Thank you for providing. Absolutely, it's me. I was hoping to get one of these done sooner or later. Was hoping to have one done last week. Actually, Meg was trying to organize a post-Gen Con stream with myself and Jenna and going over that. But it didn't happen because, not her fault to be clear. It was just way too much to get caught up on post-Gen Con. In general, honestly, if you guys watch the Dice Tower, which according to my recent random questionnaire, all of you are aware of the Dice Tower, they get so much props for the consistency of live content they put out. I don't know how they do it. To me, I'm like, I can do live content or I can travel. Doing both feels like a bit of a recipe of just trying to make it all work. Successful, what's this? It's a weekly live stream. They happen every week. Do you not know? Every single week, consistently, without fail, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, there is a weekly live stream. Unemployed lawyer. I'm already here. So I've been here the whole time. George, I never see you in here. I thought you don't do YouTube, or do you only do YouTube live? Successful. You're not Sam, right? No, I'm like 10 years younger than him at least. However, we do both have beards and wear glasses. Yeah, I'm just over a year older than him. I don't wear glasses and can't pull off a beard. So George, you definitely could pull off a beard. I've seen that baby face of yours. It could be bearded. Oh, it could be bearded. Successful. It could absolutely be bearded. I don't think there must be someone on this earth who looks worse with a beard. I don't know if I've met them yet. Consistently, when I see someone add a beard to their face, I'm like, oh, so much better than it was before. That's a permanent upgrade. And sometimes it is a permanent upgrade. Other times it's a temporary upgrade, and then they go back to their previous ways, which is always a mistake. I want to see what Alex looks like without a beard. I'd have to go way old school to find a halfway decent photo of me without a beard. I don't know if I have them in my Google Photos. I have them on hard drives in places, not counting baby photos. So at some point, perhaps, they do exist, but they're very infrequent. Successful. My wife likes my baby face though, and when I try to grow a beard, it's all patchy and itchy. Successful. Fun fact for you. First of all, your wife liking your baby face, that's a different conversation. But as far as the patchiness and itchiness, that is, by the way, just to realize, am I talking? I'm talking. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, good. I'm just making sure. I realized I wasn't I hadn't scrolled down to where it's live, and that means that I don't know if I have been talking the whole time. I haven't checked if the audio works. I never did my usual hey, is this thing on? I usually do that. Anyways, as far as the patchiness and itchiness, so I can't speak for your particular face. What I can say is itchiness goes away. When you grow a beard, it is itchy for the first 3, maybe 4 weeks, and then it stops being itchy. It's a temporary thing. It does not stay itchy forever. It's when you start growing a beard, it's bristling out and curling around your face. It is not an ongoing thing. It doesn't mean you should have a beard. I mean, I think you should have a beard, but it doesn't mean you should want a beard. But just understand it is a temporary thing. Patchiness, I'd have to see. There are some people I've seen with actual patchiness, and most people it's usually pretty fine. You know what? How about this successful? Pretty simple deal. Grow a beard, and in Discord we'll all tell you whether you look better or not. You know we won't lie to you. Unemployed lawyer, do you have any non-facial hair photos of Alex? I will find one. I might try to find one this stream. I'll tell you what, if there's any lull in questions, I will spend that lull looking for old photos of babyface Alex. They exist somewhere. I have old man Alex somewhere. Oh my gosh, I want to find old man Alex. I have to go find where it is on my phone. I did one of those apps once where it ages me, and it looks gold. I look half like my uncle, half like my father. I did a good job. False advertising, why isn't it live? It is live. A countdown timer is live. Successful. My God, the temperature feels like it's at 108. That's not great. I'm sorry about that. It's finally starting to cool down in Cleveland, Ohio. Not cool, but cooling down. James, good afternoon all. And Alex, thanks for all the Primal goodness. Oh my gosh, James, I'm so excited about Primal. I cannot tell you. Primal, so just full transparency here. Full transparency, which I try full transparency in general. But basically, right now, the situation with Primal is as follows, okay? Reggie Games signed up for 3 campaigns, for 3 campaign missions of Primal. They want 3 campaign things done. They actually signed up for a larger bundle of videos, but they want to do a bunch of challenges. But basically, they're only committing to 3 campaign games of Primal, and the rest they want to be other videos. Which is fine. Whatever they want, they want. And then, on my end, I like Primal so much that not only am I going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to play the whole thing ideally on camera. The issue is whatever isn't, and Regigames, to be clear, Regigames may pivot and decide they want more campaign. We're not sure how that's going to go yet, but for right now it's only 3, and then the rest might be other challenge videos and things like that. But what's going to happen is, if they aren't paying for more campaign games, they will exist. I will be filming them all. They'll probably be Patreon or Ko-Fi exclusive. So I'll probably do is basically have 3 campaign games on the channel and the rest behind Patreon or Ko-Fi or YouTube membership, any of that stuff. But I like that game so much that even if like 40 people watch it, which the problem, historically speaking, the problem with like campaign games behind a paywall is usually there's so much content in the YouTube space that it's very rare that you actually have that many people who want that content. You're like, oh great, okay. So you're looking at, 2,000 people might have watched the video in general. If it's your Patreon community, it's like 30, 40 people watching, which feels like 30 to 40 people, that's all I'm making it for. And the answer is yes, because they're the 30 to 40 people who are actually paying and supporting the channel. So exclusive content for them around a game I love that I want to share. Yeah, Primal's good. Primal's good. So I'm having a dance party mention to the music. Let's find out if I get, the last time I added menu music to the video, the last time I added menu music to my live streams, I basically got the live stream was demonetized, which frankly, live streams are like, I don't know, $1.40 for the whole live stream, so it's not like a huge amount, but I was like, I just don't want to deal with that. So I tried a new one today. That's why I was late, by the way. The reason it was late was because I was like, it was 1 o'clock, and I was like, if I don't do it now, when am I going to freaking do it? So I did it. And I added live music. Actually, I liked it. I liked the little jingle. It's a little catchy, a little boppy. Because I had to like try like 15 different ones. And I got one. And I added a little as a tag to YouTube description. So in theory, it should be fine. If they demonetize me, you'll never get menu music again. Or I'll just pay for it. I could just pay for it. That is an option too. It's not that much for a single song. And $1.40 per video adds up to more than the cost of a single song pretty quickly. Successful. Hello, Alex. Valentin. Hello. Caught a live stream. Yes, you did. ACS. Hey, Alex. Valentin. Hey, Alex. Do you recommend going for Dune War for Arrakis Gametown campaign? I need way more information. Have you played Dune War for Arrakis? Do you like Dune War for Arrakis? Have you played other games in that genre? Have you played War for the Ring? Do you like two-player games that are 90 minutes or so that are tense, tactical, asymmetrical back and forths? I need way more information. Are you comfortable spending, $150 on a game? Do you want the all-in? Do you prefer to buy, cheaper $20 games for your two-player experiences? Paris, La Cité Lumière is a cheap game that is an incredible experience. It's not Dune War for Arrakis. They're different experiences. I prefer Paris. They're both good in different ways. So I need a lot more information. It's a good game. If that's what you're looking for. Like, I call a lot of games. I have not gotten rid of Dune War for Arrakis, so like, it's a good game. If that's the answer you're looking for, that's what you get. Daniel, just randomly clicked your channel and found it. Unemployed lawyer? No, I'm Alex Radcliffe. I'm Alex Radcliffe. So I mean, George, you are Alex Radcliffe from Not Beach EC. Perhaps. Only part-time. Carlos, a while back you mentioned interest in putting out an updated video on how to sell a board game. Is this something still being considered? Yes. Yes, yes. So the practical reality is that there are so many things I want to do on the channel. Menu music is a great example, okay? It takes 5 minutes to do menu music, but it's not in my usual flow of the things I'm doing every single day to survive and thrive. I'm having a good time. My life is good. I play board games for a living. I'm not complaining here. It's just frenetic in terms of how much I try to do and how much I have to get done. But things that aren't the more rote pattern of stuff I do. So for example, a video on how to sell a game, an updated video on how to sell a game, it's not my usual flow. I have to like really do some other things that I don't typically do for a video. So it is on my list. I just need to actually do it, and it will happen sometime. Smooth, happy Thursday, Alex. Reading anything interesting lately? I'm glad you asked, Smooth. No. But I do have the, what's the follow-up to the Fourth Wing? Like the sequel to the Fourth Wing? The Fifth Chair, the something, the Iron Maiden? I have no idea what it's called. The follow-up to the Fourth Wing, which I loved. I do have that, and I will be diving into that shortly. But past that, no. I have not been reading interesting things lately, but I do have books I want to read. Closed by Look Wars. ACS grew. Oh, ACS. I just realized you are. Hi, ACS. Grew out my beard because of 3 weeks, and I might just keep it. You should. Although, again, going back to what Successful said, spousal approval is the usual determining factor when people get their beards. Sorry, I missed 2 comments. What's it called? Unemployed lawyer. Devon looks worse with a beard. Professor Meg. It's close, but I look worse with a beard. Meg. First of all, that's up for debate. If you want to go ahead and post. So for those who don't know, if you want a little fun way back when. Foster the Meeple did a video series where they asked people to jump in and contribute things. And Meg is in that video with a beard. So if you actually want to see what Professor Meg looks like with a beard, you can do so. And I'm pretty sure Devon still looks worse with a beard. I'm lying, Devon. Devon looks like a handsome devil with a beard. Explosion. What was the most impressive booth at Gen Con? I have to say, almost certainly the Op. Although it is debatable because Gameland Games has a castle that is very nice. I just don't love castle booths. I don't know why. Like, it's very impressive. So arguably the more impressive one is actually Gameland Games, but the one I preferred was probably the op. It was more modern. I liked it. Unemployed lawyer, ACS, keep it. Strap me, Meg. Yes, indeed, Meg. The unemployed lawyer, Professor Meg. I don't know. Beers for all. Be a dwarf. I agree. Meg, why are you in chat and not on camera? Because she's not always on camera. Last week, you guys got lucky because last week, towards the end of this, we were filming a video and she happened to show up early. This week, there's no such plans. At least not that I know of. I plan on filming a lot, but I don't believe we're filming today. She could be Professor Keg. That is possible. Agreed. Meg should be a dwarf. Totally agree. She's in chat with us instead of hanging out, probably locked in her pizza shop creating content. Whoa, okay, one second. I lost so many comments here. Dwarf Furious. Hey, Board Daddy, where is Meg that potty mouth? I love being called Board Daddy. It really adds to my reputation. Those people who want a family-friendly channel hopefully did not make it 15 minutes into the stream. But as far as the potty mouth, oh my gosh, do you know how much drama that caused? It's hard. It's very hard. So basically, it wasn't actually that much drama, but if you missed it, in the Gen Con Hall video, in the first 10 seconds, Meg decides to drop the F-bomb with what we can loosely call permission. Loosely in the sense that, like, guys, like, go for it, but it's not her fault. The ensuing drama is not her fault. I could have done anything. I could have restarted the video. I could have bleeped it out. I chose to keep it in. Let's live a little, have a little bit of fun. But that F-bomb in the first 10 seconds of the video, and we've sworn on this channel before, but it's almost always later on, where 10 minutes into a live stream and something happens. And do you know how many people drop away in the first 4 minutes of a video? Like, a lot of people drop away. A lot of people show up, they click go, and then they don't really make it that far. It's not necessarily as bad. Maybe. I don't know. Also, I think the tone of it was definitely a little bit more aggressive than when they get slipped in. But it definitely resulted in a lot of people who are like, oh my gosh, I love it, it's spicy, or whatever you want to call it. And then a lot of people who are like, this is a family-friendly channel, what are you doing? Now, that second category was divided into two groups of people. And I am sympathetic to one group, and I couldn't give two hoots about the other. People who are rude about the way they communicate, or communicate in a kind of ultimatum mode. Like, if you're like, if you drop another F-bomb on this channel, I'm out of here, leave. I don't care. I just don't care. You can decide if a channel is for you or not. You don't get to lay down an ultimatum. And there's even a way to politely communicate an ultimatum that doesn't come across as an ultimatum. Like, hey, I love your channel. I think it's great. Nothing personal at all. You gotta do what you gotta do. But in case feedback matters to you, just my own 2 cents is I tend to only watch videos that don't have swearing. If that's a direction you're going, I would unfortunately stop watching, which is a shame. But like, I'm not trying to in any way impose what you do, but I just want to communicate in case that matters. That's a delightful way to deliver an ultimatum. Delightful way. Straight up ultimatums, God, Joe, go jump in the lake. I just don't care. You cannot tell people what to do. You cannot threaten people with, like, do this or else. I mean, you could. It just doesn't get you very far with me. But as far as the other category of people I'm very sympathetic to, which are those that actively do not want any swearing, and some of you might be watching now, and I mean this completely genuinely. I am sympathetic to anyone who doesn't want any swear words in the videos on this channel and feels conflicted about what to do now that there is swear words in the channel. Well, I mean, now is a relative term. There have always been occasional infrequent swear words. They're just occasional and infrequent. This was one in the first 7 seconds of a non-live stream. That is different than usual. So it is a break from the mold to an extent. In the past, you could avoid the live streams and you were avoiding basically all the swear words. So I get all that. And I do understand, because there's going to be different camps. There's going to be people who are like, what, a single swear word bothers you? And there's going to be camps of people who are like, yes. Or camps of people, I have a family that Origins, their daughter comes up and is like, my daddy watches your videos in the car. Which, first of all, delightful. Also, probably shouldn't. But also, that means he's watching the videos with his daughter there, and people who... Because my videos are not for kids. They're not for kids. No kids are spending $500 a year on board games. It's not the target audience. But you might have people who watch their videos assuming they're family-friendly in the background for kids to watch or engage and all that. And I'm sympathetic to that. And to that, my only real answer is... Because the target audience is not kids, and the people who are affected are either those who might want to watch this with kids in the background and feel safe, or people who genuinely, just for their own value system, aren't comfortable with even a single infrequent swear word, the only thing I'd say there is it's going to continue to be as infrequent as it has been until now, which is, again, because I'm not going to police the channel 100%. I want to be true to me, and I can't make every single person happy. So I'm going to try to make myself happy as long as that works for the general audience. When I'm making myself happy and everyone's like noping out of here, you have to evaluate. You have to check yourself sometimes in life. But yeah, so in those cases, swearing is going to continue to be infrequent. It'll continue to be something that shows up in occasional live streams here and there when Meg, Devon, and Jenna decide to pop it off. And in terms of being in the first 10 seconds of a video, I might not do that again. I'm comfortable with it being there. I'm comfortable with it being in a video. But the first 10 seconds might have been a bit harsher. It's a weird balance of trying to be completely... I don't know. Swearing is something that might happen on this channel. It's going to continue to be infrequent. I'd say if the past 2,000 videos have only bothered you this one time, you're probably safe for the next 2,000. That's the answer where Meg the Potty Mouth is. That was a tangent, sorry about that. Danielle, Beretta, hi Alex, did you try to move slightly on your left for this video setup? If your head stays between Robinson Crusoe and Deep Rock, we would enjoy a centered background. 1 second. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I see the problem. This is not fully centered. This is the problem. This is not fully centered. This is going to bother me now. I can't move the shelves over. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. This is going to be, I guess, this is drop more centered, perhaps, but it's not perfect because there's a half shelf over here. It's going to bother me forever now, but that's too late. Successful. I'm willing to print that insert for you, Alex, but I'm afraid we're breaking song. In shipping. That makes more sense. Shipping. I mean, I just drove back from Florida. I could have taken it when I drove back from Florida. Anyways. I also do have a 3D printer. I just need to start using it again. I haven't used it in like 2 years and I forgot what to do. This might be a good time to do it. Successful. Shipping. Professor Meg, I'm currently assembling a calyx and reorganize my studio. Pray for better lighting in the future. Woohoo! Unemployed lawyer, what size calyx? Rainwater Games, I'll poke you and you won't see it coming. Hey Rainwater, how's it going? I remember you from Jenna's video. Ryan T. Whoa, Alex on a live stream, is this real? Peter Steele. I'm behind on chat. I'm like 9 minutes behind. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Peter Steele. Have you tried Quacks of Quedlinburg Duel yet? No, I have not. Professor Mag, just 2x4. It's for stream, recorded games only to free up my 3x4 for only preview games. Sweat me. Brian, not real. Fever Dream. Adam Nichols. Meg, how many calyxes do you have now with this new one? Do I know the answer? I'm trying to think of her studio. She has 1. She probably answers herself in a second, but 1, 2, 3. Oh, but she has non-calyx shelves. I'll let her answer. She has non-calyx shelves. Brian, no, it's AI. It is AI. It is AI. It is AI. I have 5x5 calyx, a 3x4, the new 2x4, 2x2, and 2 2x1s, but in my game where I have 3 Henley's bookcases, I prefer them, but they discontinued my color. How dare they? Jacob, Raw Traders expansion. I feel like Raw's an amazing game. It doesn't need an expansion, but I'll certainly back it. I don't know anything about the Raw Traders expansion. Is there a Raw Traders expansion on Kickstarter right now? How have I missed this? Unemployed lawyer, Iron Flame. That's the one. That's the one. Thank you. Did you see that Reggie Games opened their own website where they'll sell Primal and new stuff not using crowdfunding? They also showed a new weapon art design for possibly a new hunter. Yes, I did. I linked to it. In my video description, I linked to it. The one that went up today. Ryan, hello, Srebby. I'm sad you aren't going to level up. I still don't know who's going. Brian, I too am sad that Srebby is not going to level up. Just for the record. Notaru, what is your level of concern, if any, with LSG, with Storm Sun and Levon Rising? Their updates have been extremely lacking in information. Medium. A solid medium. So they're in a weird place for me where, with Wild Descent, everyone, myself included, doubted it would ever show up. And then it did. So the question is, do I hold on to that thought or the practical reality that things sometimes can go belly up? Here's what I would say. Once a company... here's my opinion. In my opinion, LSG has not given up hope that they're going to get you the game. Does that make sense? This might make sense, okay? Because follow me on this one. Unless they're, whatever, playing some weird long game. Once they give up hope, what's the game plan? Post an update once a month for the rest of your life? Like, that's not a long-term game plan. It doesn't work. In my opinion, as long as a company is posting updates, it means they haven't given up hope themselves. It means, and that doesn't mean that the game's going to deliver. It could mean that the game is on track and you're just frustrated with the delays, but delays happen sometimes, especially with a big narrative game. It could mean that their finances are in complete tatters, but they are still talking with people and trying to like get a loan or have someone buy the company, but something happens there. In my opinion, once a company gives up hope that you'll ever get the game, why would you still post monthly updates for the rest of your life? You're just delaying the inevitable. So I think LSG has not given up hope. And I haven't given up hope either. I would say I wouldn't be shocked if the game never shows up, and I certainly wouldn't be shocked if it does show up. I'm sad you aren't... No, I missed that. I'm okay. Apart from that, use a closet, a small green shelf, and a lot of games on the floor. Yes. This is like Grant Line, who's talking about like, I have so many shelves, I have this. He's like, I have games on my floor. Games on my floor are the level. And the drawer first. Did the video get monetized because within 60 seconds of the beginning of the video? The video did not get demonetized. I checked that. It did not get demonetized, the swear word video. Successful. Fine, I'll stop calling Alex Daddy. From now on, I'll just say iPoppy. Not better. Not better at all. If you ever watched the, oh my gosh. Who the, I liked the comedic duo. Key and Peele, they have a Poppy video. Poppy mattresses, not okay. Draw Furious, if it helps, it was very memorable. Board Game Officer, I'm in the Army National Guards, have to shave my beard once a few months, so some of my videos I have a beard and some I am clean shaven. I recommend the beard. Tell the Army I said that. The Unemployed Lawyer, that drop away in the first 4 minutes is me. The dropaway. Oh, the dropaway. It's more than just you. I wish it was just you. It's more than just you. Successful. I'm not sure if the channel is for me. I hear that. I think there should be 1 F-bomb per episode. Not gonna happen. Unemployed lawyer. Dwarf Fierce is what's allowed. 1 F-bomb per video, per person per video. Neon Gorilla. Hey, Neon. How's it going? I appreciate the occasional gratuitous F-bomb. So do I. One of the things I try to communicate to the people who are upset, the people who are politely upset, the other ones that don't care, is that there is a weird balance of who is a video for. And the answer for me is a video is always going to be created with me as the target audience unless and until there's enough pushback that I have to question that. Not individual pushback, enough pushback. There's points in life where you have to say, okay, I need to take feedback into account. I thought X, so many people say Y, I need to process that and internalize. But until it's that level, the videos are created for me. That's what it's for. I am the target audience of my videos. And for me, I am someone who I don't like swearing. I genuinely don't like swearing. But I'm okay with it in the right moment. I'm okay with it in the right moment. I'm okay with the punchline of a joke. I'm okay with it in that aspect of things. I don't love swearing to be like the default way we communicate. And so for me, the occasional F-bomb is the occasional swearing is fine. The frequent swearing is not. Like 1 F-bomb per video, not my jam. Maximum 1 F-bomb per video, that's a different conversation. So my kids know Alex's voice because I listen to BGC videos when driving them around. They also know George's face because he's in the background of my phone for a long time. That's sweet. Here's the background of my videos for like 4 videos. Dwarf Fierce, it's okay when Dwarf speaks, tangents happen. That is how it works. Professor Meg, this is so old, but here's that video with me as both Jeff and Jamie. It's at 32:28. I'm glad you found it. I have to go watch it again. That was something else. George, that fun was epic. ACS, I think that swearing in the first 10 seconds is probably not the best idea, but I would say that once in a blue moon towards the middle of the video isn't a big deal. Yeah, everyone's going to have their own line in the sand. Mine is definitely probably what you've seen on the channel until now. Infrequent swearing in infrequent videos, and out of 2,000 videos, 1 F-bomb in the first 10 seconds. Let's see. Can't you move? Danielle Barada, can't you move? So move. Can I move the camera? The problem is there's too many things I'm trying to manage, okay? So just some stuff about the studio over here. Should I just get up and move the camera? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to like move. I'll do it on a prop light. If I mess with this, it's going to mess with things. But right now, this table is exactly equidistant to where I need it to be on all sides to fit this area of the room. So the table is where it needs to be. The problem is if the table is where it needs to be, then I need to be able to capture as wide of a shot as I can to be able to get games as properly as I can. So that's where it needs to be. And so I center the background as well. The one thing I wasn't able to center, and then the shelves have to line up with the shelves over there. This will all make sense. I'll do a video tour at some point. I keep saying that, but at some point. It's still this room is still in progress. I've been moving around games, trying to make it whatever. It takes time. Everything takes time. But everything kind of works right now, except it's a bit off center now, which I didn't even realize, and that's just going to stay that way for right now. Meg, break your NDA. What do you know about Tend? I don't know what they've shared publicly, so I'm not going to answer that question at all. So, I'm very excited for it. That's a great answer. Tell me more. There'll be points. There'll be points. There is indeed going to be points. Uh-oh, is my live stream? No, we're good. ACS, Dwarf Fierce. It's a great idea. What's the great idea, Dwarf Fierce? Maybe instead of ending the stream with a dad joke, he just swears. No, absolutely not. It's not even funny. If you can expect it, it's not funny. It's like funny because it's not expected. As soon as it's a predictable point, it's a different conversation. Alex, have you tried One Deck Dungeon? No, but I've always wanted to. Are you getting Relics of the Forge? No. But always wanted to is a loose term. The rating on it is good enough that I want to play it. It's bad enough that I'm okay. It's a 7.1 or 7.2. It's like, it's okay. I'm happy to play it. I don't need to play it. Is 10 solo, Professor Meg? I believe 10 must be solo friendly. Is it solo friendly? I don't know. I assume it's solo friendly. I don't know if they've said it before. Points in a board game. IV and their innovation, I tell you. No, Srebny, you misunderstand. Every point is a metal die. They're giving handfuls of metal dice that are all points. That's what it is. Dwarf Fierce, maybe instead of Board Daddy Alex can be the Lord of the Board. The Lord of the Board is an existing channel. Dwarf Furious. No, Danielle, your uncentered background keeps concerning me since you moved. Can't get over it. I'm sorry. It's going to concern me now, too. I didn't even realize. It is what it is, unfortunately. Brian T. Alex, special guests unannounced for Level Up are Devon, Jenna, Meg, and the usual suspects have not been confirmed on the site. Any confirmation of the cool folks yet? The cool folks for Level Up are myself. I assume Meg. I haven't even checked. Devon expressed that he would like to make it. He has to check his schedule. Chris George expressed that he's coming, I believe. And I don't know if anyone else has confirmed yet. We only just started communicating with a special guest this past week, and I have not been the one doing the communicating as I did last year, so someone else on the team is taking care of it. So I don't actually know who's communicated. I assume we'll have a batch of people. I don't know who that batch is going to be. George Panetta, haven't seen much from Devon lately. Is he still involved in the channel? Misses appearances. Super glad Meg is in more and more videos. Keep up the great channel. Thank you, George. You're a sweetheart. I love Devon to death. Devon started off as my friend. Then he briefly worked for Quackalope. Well, not briefly, for like a year and a half, 2 years. For a while, he worked for Quackalope. Then he started working for me. The problem is when I took him on, I was paying him a part-time wage. It wasn't a full-time job, it was a part-time job. And he needed a full-time job, which is a reasonable thing. And I wasn't at the point yet, or the preview work on the channel was not at a point yet where that could be done. In fact, originally, if you go back way back, Devon was the original person who started doing previews. But it was just new, and he needed a full-time job, and so he got a job offer at Lucky Duck, which he took, and he's been very successful there. He's already grown within the company, and he is a close, dear personal friend. I was on the phone with him last night as well, and I'm actually trying to structure travel to him right now. We'll see how that goes. But ultimately, he is a close personal friend who is involved in his own life and doesn't have the time to be on the channel the way he used to be. I love him to death. I think the world of him, and I can't wait to spend time with him whenever I have the opportunity to do so. I did at Gen Con. At Gen Con, I got to see him a few times and talk to him. He's a good friend, but he's not on the channel nearly as much, and I don't know if that will change. He's not banned from the channel. He's always welcome. If we do arrange a trip, you'll almost certainly see videos with him, but as much as I loved having him as part of the channel, as much as I would have loved the channel could grow and financially be at a point where I was able to hire both my friends, at the time I wasn't even able to hire either. I was paying both them part-time, and now it's grown so that I am able to hire Meg and keep her on board, but I'm not at the point where I can get 2 people on board. Not quite yet. Let's see. Nope, missed a comment. Aaron Taylor, hello everyone. Wish I could have gotten a chance to see Alex and Meg at Gen Con, but I worked in the Explore demo table and then played games with Ivy. Honestly, playing games with Ivy is much better than meeting me and Meg. Much better. Well, at least better than meeting me. Nick, the man, the myth, the legend, he is live again, and I'll be back next week, I say optimistically. Ideally, the 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Thursday live stream is a regular occurrence. Next week, it should happen. The week after that, it should happen. Hopefully, the next time I miss is when WSBG is happening. Hopefully. That might be holidays. I don't know. Either way, we'll see. But it should be frequent. It just hasn't been, but it should be. Aaron Taylor, the Tabletop Simulator playtesting for 10 starts really soon. Good to know. Professor Meg, I can show you one deck dungeon. I'll happily check it out. ACS, what are your thoughts on the Shuffle Dungeons, and do you plan on reviewing it? Shuffle Dungeons? Do you plan on reviewing it or trying it on TTS? Oh, I remember Shuffle Dungeons. I did cover it on Two Back, Not to Back. I have no interest. No interest whatsoever. And that might sound harsh. Sorry for that. It doesn't mean it's a bad game. I just have no interest. So it reminds me of The Night Cage, which was a game that I was only okay with, and the visual direction of the game, the graphic design, the art, doesn't pull me in the slightest. So a lack of being pulled in visually, combined with mechanically seeming similar to a game that I gave like a 3 out of 5, is just not enough for me to be interested. So I'm not interested, but doesn't mean it's bad. It just means I'm not interested. Gen Cam plays board games. Hello, Gen Cam. It's a pleasure seeing you at Gen Con. The Unemployed Lawyer. Alex, will you take your AFFO turn live on stream? Didn't I just take my AFFO turn? A Feast for Odin turn? Didn't I just take my turn? If I didn't, let's go check it out. Okay. Let's go to Board Game Arena. Board Game Arena. I actually think I have my top camera on today, so maybe we could Board Game. Let's see, Board Game Arena. Okay, so let's see. Is it my turn in A Feast for Odin? It's not my turn in A Feast for Odin. How dare you, George? It's not my turn. I was gonna take my turn on camera and everything. I was gonna turn the top camera on. I think it's on. You see, there we go. Top camera's on. So like we got that, which happens to be on. It's a coincidence. I don't know why it's on. But anyways, yeah. So no, I'm not gonna take my turn. It's not my turn. Ryan, as someone who buys their crowdfunding games through my FLGS, I'm concerned with the new trend to follow the campaign gifts since these are not available through FLGS. Thoughts on this? Ryan, I think that... So first of all, is it a new trend? Like, this has been for, like, years now. The follow the campaign and get a gift has been around for a long time. The new trend is the pay $1 to get access to the gift before the campaign begins. That's the trend I'm fighting back against. The follow the campaign to go ahead and get them is a whole different conversation. But you buy your crowdfunding games through my FLGS. Do they not give the follow gifts? That's interesting. That is interesting. I never thought about that. So the short answer, it doesn't apply directly to your question, because your question is a unique case. I buy crowdfunding games, but through my FLGS. But the general answer applies to crowdfunding versus retail in general, which is, if you try to buy, no matter which way you buy, there are pros and cons. And we just have to make a choice around those pros and cons, because unfortunately crowdfunding is here to stay. Well, not necessarily unfortunately there, but crowdfunding is here to stay. Crowdfunding is going to be a big part of the scene. It is effective to help small creators grow in the space. It is helpful as marketing to large creators. It is a place that people are excited about. People are often excited about the cult of the future, for better or for worse. Crowdfunding is not going anywhere. But the problem is, in order to have crowdfunding properly thrive, you need to give people a reason to back on crowdfunding that needs to be different than retail. And there's a variety of things you could do to make it compelling. There's a variety of things you can do. But giving people perks is one of those things. More often than not, if you get a retail game, it's perfectly fine. The things you're missing out on doesn't matter that much. That promo you didn't get, you never even cared about. Most of the time that's true. There are exceptions, but most of the time the extra stuff is stuff that you don't care about. But if you do care, if you care about the fact that you will be bothered by missing out on it, because sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not, depends on the game, then you have to find the way that gets you all the stuff. And that might suck. It might change your buying patterns. But that is the nature of the crowdfunding game, where they're trying to incentivize people to buy now when they could buy later. So it's unfortunate, but it is just have to work around it. Brian T. Chris basically confirmed with his Crokinole video lately talking about Tracy Boards. Yes, Chris confirmed to me that he's gonna be there. He said like I wouldn't miss it because I don't know. It sounded very, very firm that he was gonna be there. Nick, did you enjoy doing the Dice Tower Awards? If this question has not already been answered before in the live session, Nick, that's an interesting question. No, I didn't enjoy doing the Dice Tower Awards, but it's not. There's a difference between did I enjoy it versus would I do it again? Do I regret it? Any of that? I did not enjoy doing the Dice Tower Awards because it is something that is completely out of my comfort zone. If you watch that video, I don't seem like me. I feel like I watched it. I shouldn't have watched it. But I didn't enjoy doing it. But it's something that's out of my comfort zone, and I think that's a good thing to do. I think it's good to step out of your comfort zone. I think it's good to take on things that you're not comfortable with, especially if you're in a space where that kind of thing might be more often required. Like, for example, if I wasn't a YouTuber in any way, shape, or form, if I didn't go to conventions and whatnot, maybe I just don't care that I don't want to do live panels or performances and all that. Maybe it doesn't matter. But if it's something that is helpful to the space I'm in, it's good to get better and more comfortable with things that are outside your comfort zone. So, for example, my first panel ever was at Dice Tower West, not last year, but the year before, and I was very uncomfortable with it. Very, very uncomfortable with it. Versus at Gen Con, I did two things. I did the Dice Tower Awards, and I did a panel with Tom Vassell. I loved my panel with Tom. I thought it was great, and it was much more... I thought it was a much better thing, and it was better because I stepped out of my comfort zone the first time and got a little more comfortable with it. I don't know what it takes to get comfortable with certain things. Just do it again. But if it's something that's helpful to the space you're in, I'm going to try. For context, those who don't know, at the Dice Tower Awards, I gave out one of the awards for Best New Designer. And the problem is, and this is the problem as well, which is when you're doing things with other people, in my opinion, you can either script it or hope that the back and forth works perfectly. So, for example, I did it with Meg in this case, and Meg and I are on camera a lot. And we usually riff off each other pretty decently. Every once in a while, you don't get to see this, every once in a while, we're mid-review, and I'm like, okay, yeah, so I like the drafting of the game, and I turn her way. And then she doesn't have follow-up, or vice versa. She might turn my way, and then I don't have a follow-up. My point is, there's a flow, there's an ebb and flow, but sometimes you're like, okay, great, yeah, I like the drafting, and you turn, and then the person's like, I already said all my stuff. But that doesn't flow well on camera. So there's always that dynamic of being uncertain. And so I wasn't sure how this would play out, but that meant on camera or whatever, I can edit, I can go forward. On a live stream, it doesn't really matter. But on the Dice Tower Awards, the live event, I was like, I can't mess up. So we had to orchestrate it and plan out a thing and then have a little thing. And that's not what I do. I don't script. I just talk off the cuff. So I only felt comfortable scripting because there were two of us and I didn't feel comfortable riffing and relying on the chance that it would probably be fine, but might not. And that just, that meant that I was scripted. And I don't like doing scripted stuff. So it was uncomfortable for me, but again, stepping out of my comfort zone is important. Devon is banned from the channel. He swears more than Meg. He does swear more than Meg, but he does so in live streams and halfway through, so he's not banned from the channel. Then again, neither is Meg. Danielle, I'm sorry I added one more thing for you to take care of, but I have to tell you, got a big weight off my chest. What do you mean? What did you add? I mean, I'm not changing the setup. I thought we covered that. It's gonna be what it is. Dwarf Furious, 2 hours left in Sprocket Forge. It has dwarfs. Enjoy it. Mike Young, I think it had better art. It could have been interesting, but the white flooring really bothers me. Agreed, Mike. I think art will sell you on a game. Art does not make a game good, but art can make you want to play a game. Do you know how many prototypes I've played where I love the game, and it didn't fund? The answer is like 4, but it's not a huge number, but it is a decent number. But there are 4 or 5 prototypes that I've played in my 4 or 5 years covering prototypes by now, where I loved the game, and the campaign didn't fund, may never come to life, and the visual presentation of the game is why it didn't fund. But I happened to say yes to the game back when I didn't have as much stuff on my plate, because nowadays I wouldn't say yes to a game that didn't look good. Back then I did say yes to games that didn't look good, and sometimes a gem came out of that. Sometimes a game that didn't look visually good, like a gem would show up, and I'd be like, this is such a good game. And then they wouldn't fund it, and I'd be upset that they didn't fund it, because it's such a good game, but a game has to look good. People buy with their eyes. People try with their eyes. Carlos, in your experience, is it generally the case that promo cards, tiles, and mini expansions are meaningfully added to board games you play? No. Hell no. No. I mean, hell's not really a swear. Is hell a swear word? I don't consider hell a swear word. But no, I don't think, I can't think of a single promo that is meaningfully added to my experience. I'm not saying I don't get to a part in the game where I'm happy there's more card variety. I'm like, ooh, look at this fun card I haven't used before. That can happen. But meaningfully added to my experience, I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but I can't think of a time. Your experience is generally the case that Gen Cam. Oh, your panel with Tom is my son's favorite part of Gen Con. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Jen. Brian, I have found followers tend to be included in the campaign somehow. They usually just feed to followers versus people that didn't follow have to buy it. Typically something low price like $5. Agreed, Brian. But ultimately, if he's getting his games through the, I guess, I don't know. Can you buy, when you buy the game through your retailer, do they get those? Do you even have the option? How do they structure it? Do you literally just go to them and just say, here's what I want? I guess so, but then you're paying $5 more. So the question then is, why are you buying through your retailer? Is it to save money? Because then it's just a calculation and an equation. Are you saving more versus the $5 cost? It's interesting. It's an interesting conversation. But it's one-sided, so I'm not having it. I'm just thinking out loud. Aaron Taylor, how long did it take you to sleeve Primal? I've been putting that off and need to do that this weekend. Aaron Taylor, I can't answer that question because I sleeve the things as they went. As I encountered a new monster, I'd be like, sleeve, sleeve, sleeve. As I played a new character, sleeve, sleeve, sleeve. I didn't sleeve things just in a single batch with Primal. I still have a box that's half full of sleeves and half full of stuff I haven't sleeved yet. So I've been sleeving as I go with that one, so I can't answer that. That's not what I usually do. Not what I usually do at all. Just a special situation, because when you get a box of sleeves that's this big, you're like, I'll get to it later. Joe Furious, are there any best regular channel viewer awards? No, but you can have one. You can have one. There's not any best regular channel viewers. There's names I recognize, but that's not really the same thing. The problem with any sort of award around that, unless I have metrics, it would just be names I recognize, or people who are saying things like, why aren't there dwarfs in my game, which is inherently more recognizable. If you talk about dwarfs every single time you come here, if you comment in every video something about dwarfs and how it has dwarfs, it doesn't have dwarfs, and how elves are not dwarfs, and people with beards might be dwarfs adjacent, if you have a shtick, you're going to be more memorable. That doesn't mean you're a more loyal viewer than someone else who comments in a more regular manner, so I'd have to have metrics in place to give such an award, or I would ultimately favor the people who are more memorable, not the most loyal viewers. So you get points for being a memorable, loyal viewer. Nick, do you know if the panel with Tom for the Ice Tower is online to see somewhere? No, it is not, unfortunately. Not unless someone recorded it themselves, which if they did, kudos to you, but it was not filmed and recorded. Oddball, I've seen some Zombicide stuff on the channel. It looks fun, looking to get some of the boxes, but at times I feel like the game is overhyped and overproduced. Any recommendations, insights? I have insights and recommendations-ish. So, first of all, insights. I thought, before I ever played Zombicide, as someone who got into the hobby with Eurogames, and then played Eurogames, and played cooperative games, and other games, and this games and that games, I looked down on Zombicide for the first 6 years in the hobby. Something like that. I got into the hobby in 2011. I played Zombicide in August of 2017. So, 6 years in the hobby. My first 6 years in the hobby, I knew Zombicide existed, and I was dismissive of it. I was like, really? A bunch of toys and rolling dice, and that's all it is? Like, people like this? Okay, I'm going to go back to planting my crops and harvesting victory points. Thank you very much. I say it that way because it sounds intentionally ridiculous, and I love that. But I avoided and looked down on Zombicide. And then I played it. And I love it now. So, the insight I can give is your initial instincts may not mean anything because I know I was there. It also might mean that you might play it and be like, yep, it's exactly the garbage I thought it was. So, because people love to hate on Zombicide, as much as they love Zombicide, they love to hate on Zombicide. It is rolling dice and wandering around dungeon and encountering zombies, and it's a lot of fun, but you have to be kind of into that thing. So I like it a lot. As far as recommendations, I would say the Army of the Dead box is actually a decent, somewhere down there, it's actually a decent starting point for the game if you want a game that will give you a good amount of gameplay with a pretty good experience that doesn't require expansions and whatnot. Because my favorite Zombicide, Black Plague probably, or Marvel Zombies. See, I don't know Marvel Zombies. That's not true. I know Marvel Zombies. I don't know enough about what's in the core box of Marvel Zombies versus the rest to think of whether it's a good recommendation. Black Plague, you need more than the core box. That's the tricky part. You need to get a few expansions to really make the experience shine. I don't know enough about Marvel Zombies to answer if you need the other stuff to get the experience to shine. I would say start cheap. Honestly, Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance, the cheap $40 standee version, it's a great place to start with the game and see if you like it. And I think it's a good game, but it is still a taste of Zombicide. It's not the full experience. It's a taste, but it is... I would say if you play that and you don't like it at all, you probably don't like Zombicide. If you play that and you're like, I like it, but I want a bit more, there's a lot more to check out. Let's see. Do you know if the panel with Tom? Oddball, I've seen some Zombicide. No. ACS, will we get a video on the new Terraforming Mars stuff? An unboxing video of the new Terraforming Mars stuff is going up at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I plan on playing. I've already played with one of the new maps. I actually had a game night with Meg and AP the other night. And we played with the newest, largest map, whatever it's called. Something, Amazonas. I don't know what it's called. Whatever it's called. But my goal is to play as much of the new stuff as possible. Slowly. I'm not going to rush it. But I want to play the Atama. I want to play the Atama and play through all the solo stuff. And probably do a full review on the solo stuff alone, and then from there just see where it goes. But yes, you'll have some content coming your way. Professor Meg, I prefer to play with the Paula Deming Final promo. Her ability is great, and for harder games I'm grateful for her. Good to know. That's good useful information. Vindication is unplayable without Alexi the Unyielding. Brian, you're a sweetheart. Dwarfurious, thank you. Moderator, please badge me. Done. Rainwater Games. Every game should have a Professor Meg promo. It'll make all the games more colorful and enjoyable to play. It would certainly make the games more colorful. Ryan, I buy crowdfunding games from FLGS because it helps me avoid shipping costs. Yeah, so Ryan, so at this point it is tricky because I understand the frustration, but then it's just a math game. You're like, hey, I save $14 here or $30 here, but then it costs me $5 here because there usually is a way to get the promo. So that's a frustrating thing, but the math still works in your favor. But I do understand the frustration. I'm not trying to minimize it. Aaron Taylor, Press Mag, the Jamie promo looks really fun for Final Girl. Dwarf Furious, Bloodstones is adding Dwarfs and Gins. Yes! I knew I loved Bloodstones. I've never played Bloodstones. The Unemployed Lawyer, am I the most loyal viewer by not regularly watching your work but still being a mod? There was definitely a time where you were the most loyal viewer, or amongst the most loyal viewers. I don't think you are anymore. It doesn't mean that you're not a good friend, and it doesn't mean that you're not someone I still care about, but you definitely have shifted in terms of having the mod badge while not being a viewer. I don't think that gives you any points. You get points for being a generally good person. Does that help? You get points for being a cool guy who I like. I mean, but you definitely once upon a time were a very loyal viewer, and now you're like, Henny, people, please clip that video because I refuse to go to YouTube and watch it myself. So definitely little points lost there. But the viewer side of points, not the friendship side of points. Michael, I agree no promos ever dramatically changed the game for me, but I still get angry when I thought I had everything and then there's some random promo released. I did a video once on promos. I did a video on this, why I don't care about promos. And the main reason is because I can control, to me, the FOMO, and it's all illogical. It's me just justifying my own illogicality. But when I go to a crowdfunding campaign and there's like an expansion I'm not getting, I feel that FOMO and I can just buy it. I mean, just buy it as casual. It's a privileged statement if you have money, but then again, I pack less than I used to. But you can buy a thing. You can go all in. Fine. The idea that I have to track down promos, the idea that I have to follow that Dice Tower promo and get that BGG promo and follow that Comic-Con exclusive promo, the idea that I have to play this ongoing game to get the promos, I can't and I will not. I will not let my own sense of lack of completion taint the hobby for me, and so I refuse to go down that rabbit hole. And so for me, promos are literally, if it happens to make its way into my hands, I'll use it, sure. Anything else, I do not try. I don't spend money on them, I don't track them down, I have mentally shut out promos as promos are not part of the completionist gameplay. The expansions, sure. Promos are not part of the completionist gameplay. And that is literally a survival tactic. It's not about logical sense. It's a survival tactic so that I don't get lost in the constant chase. Better than a badge or wrench. Well, I don't have badges. One second, let's go back there. How is AP? AP's doing great. I love AP. Dwarfurious, shiny badge. Press a Meg. I just got the Paul and Jamie promos at Gen Con. Unemployed lawyer. Better than a badge or a wrench. Wait, no, you give me moderator status. Yes, Dwarfurious. You've been here long enough. What are you going to do? Ban someone? Then I'll just ban you and the problem will be solved. But, like, I do think you've been loyal enough as a viewer that, like, fine, you can have a wrench. Are you in the Discord? I can't remember. Are you in our Discord? You should be in our Discord. Most of the people with wrenches are in our Discord. So at me, Dwarfurious, enjoy the new power. Aaron Taylor, the unemployed lawyer. Uh-oh, sounds like you might lose an Infinity Stone. Who's losing an Infinity Stone? No one's losing Infinity Stones. So at me, how many points does George have compared to me? I want to know if I'm winning. I can only get in trouble here. I can only get in trouble. Unemployed lawyer. Now I get to keep the Infinity Stone until I complain about it again. That's true. That is exactly how it works, George. So, I mean, you're definitely winning. Alex should rank our friend group. I could rank our friend group. I've gotten in trouble for this. So I am, personality-wise, I think I'm a drop autistic. I think. Not to minimize autism, and I'm not diagnosed with this, that, but, like, I do have, there's an element of autism where you just say things the way they are to you, and kind of don't mentally account for the way they are to others. And there's an element there. And I have a drop of that. I don't know if that means I know autism spectrum. I don't know if that means I'm a drop in the spectrum. But I definitely have this thing where in life, I focus on what should or shouldn't be offensive, just based on my own personal system. And then sometimes those things are offensive to you, and I have to, like, incorporate and adapt. I have ranked people before. I still will rank people. I just change how I do it because I know it's offensive. But, like, I don't have a problem being like, yes, you are a better friend than them because you have all these factors. You live closer. You play more games with me. My conversations with you, though, are more intellectually stimulating, and we've been friends for longer. I like weighing up all those things and being like, okay, 5 points here, 4 points here. I don't actually do a point system, but, like, I process the things that are important to me, and I'm like, they're a better friend. Doesn't mean you're not a good friend. They're like 98 out of 100, and you're like 97.5 out of 100. That's not insulting, right? Turns out it is insulting. Turns out it is insulting. Which it's not to me. This is the thing with looks too. Like if you're like, hey, what am I? Like an 8 out of 10? I'm like, maybe a 7.5. I don't know. Like, I mean, who's an 8 out of 10? Who's an 8 out of 10? Like actors who have like their like if you see actors on in like official films versus having casual day off, most people aren't a 10 out of 10. Let's just get over that. But again, some things in life are apparently insulting. So I have no problem ranking every single one of my friends. But nowadays, I've gotten better at recognizing that that is bad. So I only do it in my own head now, which means I'm making progress. Let's see. Promo is Alex, will you help him play today? No. You're definitely winning. Alex should rank our friend group. Yep. Are you going to Spill Lesson? Not this year. I want to so much, but I can't make it work this year. A future year. Hopefully next year. So at me, Alex, what are you hoping to play today? Hoping to play today? So tentatively, there was plans for a game night today. Hopefully. We'll see if that happens. But the games I would love to table right now, so just off the top of my head, the games I would love to table is Kingsburg, Spectacular. I really need to play Cyberpunk, but I'm waiting on the app. I'm waiting on the new app for it, because I already played at Gen Con. I just need the new app so I can properly play it. Spectacular, Kingsburg. Harvest would be great, but I'm not done with the rules yet. Those would probably be the main ones. I feel there's one I'm missing. Citizens of the Spark. Citizens of the Spark. And then also Undaunted 2200, but I'm not finished the rulebook on that either. So, those are the ones that are currently there. Chrissy Stern, promo collecting is a hobby within the hobby. Agreed. Successful Geek, I had to step away for a second and just catching up. I'm not sleeving Primal, will only sleeve the decks used. Is the deck size always the same? The deck size? Do you mean like your individual hand? Oh, by the way, I forgot to do that. Thank you. Successful. Thank you for being a member for 18 months. Forgot to do that. Brian T, thank you for being a member for 13 months. You reminded me that Alex only responds to $5 Call Catan chats. Okay, let's see. Dun dun dun. Let's see. 1 second. We go to Jenna. Jenna. You just got a $5 Call Catan. I always have to like type out the Call Catan because it does not. Okay, there we go. Done. Okay, where were we? Moist Lavir, no, heads away. Yeah, the deck size is not always the same because have you played Primal yet, Successful? Your weapon determines your deck size. Your weapon is the thing that determines which cards you have in your deck, so it's definitely not always the same. Rainwater Games, do you think there would ever be any future collaborations with Cracklope? Are you guys still friends? Probably not, unfortunately. Without getting too much into it, we were very, very good friends once upon a time. Unfortunately, we have different ways that we do things that slowly presented more and more of a conflict, and I wish them all the best, but we don't collaborate anymore, and we're not, like, friends either, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but sometimes life happens, and you need to move on, and it is what it is. But I wish them all the best. The Unemployed Lawyer, hold for Discord link. Oh, thank you. Dwarf Furious, I am most loyal viewer to Alex's channel because I have personally backed over $3,000 of board games on GameFound. I mean, I don't get more money when people back things on GameFound. I hope you know that. I guess, granted, you can make the argument that if GameFound doesn't do well, I will be out of a job, but, like, I appreciate it, I guess. Brian, promos versus stretch goals are very different things. I feel stretch goals are core to the game, while promos are just superfluous. Depends on the game for sure. Like, if you look at any CMON campaign with their 7 bajillion characters, some of them are core, some not so much. Aaron Taylor, do you get a chance to play Adulthood at Gen Con? I was hoping there'd be a how to play, but there's very little coverage. I got a demo of how to play, so I know how to play it, and I believe a copy is being sent our way, but I have not actually played it. Dwarf Furious, Kickstarter's a very different beast. Unemployed Lawyer, Discord link for anyone who needs it. Thank you, George. Smooth Rivera, thank you for the link. Springam, kudos to Reggie Games for moving away from crowdfunding. Looking forward to more Primal content in the upcoming years. I'm very intrigued as to what happens? I think, I could be wrong here. Here's the problem with crowdfunding, and it's a real problem. I don't know what Reggie Games' plans are. If I had to guess, I would say there's going to be a crowdfunding campaign from Reggie Games. This is a guess. Reggie Games doesn't know I'm saying this. They do not know I'm saying this. This is an opinion on my end. I think that crowdfunding has too much of an impact, and it's too much news. If you look at what, like, I don't know what their campaign will do. Like, when they start their, when they do their thing, whatever it is, does Jenna show up? Does Jenna show up? Yeah, there she goes. No, not me already being here lurking. Unless their campaign, their own website campaign does really well, I imagine they'll go back to the drawing board and be like, turns out crowdfunding is a big deal. So if I have to guess, I think they will do their website thing, and then at some point they'll do another campaign. That's my guess. But it's a guess that will be played out by a combination of how well it does and their own, guts as far as how much are they tied to doing on the website versus not. And the reality is, crowdfunding does create a hype and a buzz around things that you don't get the same way, which is one of those annoying things, because you're like, why are these companies going to crowdfunding? Well, because they get more sales there. Stonemaier is one of the fascinating exceptions where they managed to build up hype and buzz around their launches in a way that very few companies have managed to do without the use of crowdfunding. Very few. So I'm curious to see how it plays out, and we will know more if in a year from now Primal's back in crowdfunding. Dun, dun, dun. I have Gen Cams. I have a copy of Adulto coming. I'll be covering solo. Smoother Rare. I've heard about the BGC Discord for a long time, but haven't taken the plunge. It's a crazy place in there. There's F-bombs dropping every 2 minutes. There's not. There's really not. Unemployed Lawyer. Ranks rub me and myself, you coward. Okay. So, George. No, I can't do it. So gets me in trouble. No. This stuff gets me in trouble. Okay. Successful Geek, I have a badge. I'll do it in person. I'll do it like if you and Spread me in a room together, I'll do it together. Or even a chat. I'll do it in a chat. I'm not going to do it in a public setting. Successful Geek, I have a badge, but Alex ignored my membership renewal message. I did it. I did it now. I got it. I was busy at the start. I'm sorry. Aaron Taylor, Gen Cam plays board games. I'll make sure I'm subscribed to you. Good choice. Jacob Justice, if you can answer without getting in trouble, why is GameFound better than Kickstarter and why is Kickstarter better than GameFound? I can answer, I will get in trouble. So the answer I always give, it's fairly consistent with the data. This is not like a surprise, it's not a shock, but when I say it, there will always be a portion of people who are like, but you're biased GameFound. Yes, I'm biased GameFound. The data's still the data, so I don't really care. But it's not, I do care. I care. It's annoying. I don't like the bias. I don't like it, because I'd rather be able to just say things the way they are, but whatever. Here's the answer. GameFound is better than Kickstarter. What you said? Why is GameFound, not where? Where is more complicated? Why is GameFound better than Kickstarter and Kickstarter better than GameFound? Okay, why? Let's do the why. I'm going to do the short version of this. Why Kickstarter is better than GameFound? Kickstarter still has a larger audience. That's the main answer. It still has a larger audience. There are a few behind-the-scenes tools that Kickstarter is better than GameFound at. So, for example, their main editor has gotten better. Like when we first started, or when GameFound had a better editor for a bit, and then Kickstarter released an update, and theirs is better. So they have some tools that are better. You can go directly from update to update, which in GameFound you have to adjust the URL. I don't know why we haven't done it yet. I'll bug someone again. They have an app. GameFound is working on an app. We have an app coming, but we don't have an app yet. So Kickstarter does have some reading updates in email. You can read an update in email over on Kickstarter. You can't do so on GameFound. There's reasons for that, primarily because of the functionality around polls. Again, it bothers me. I have a different opinion of what we should do versus what we've decided to do right now, but whatever. That is still a perk that Kickstarter has that GameFound does not. So audience and a few assorted perks is what Kickstarter has over GameFound. What GameFound has over Kickstarter, and this is the part where, again, sure, bias and all that. I am CMO of GameFound for those who don't know, but also just look at the data. It's all I think very evident or whatnot. The first and foremost reason is Kickstarter was built around crowdfunding 10 years ago and didn't really make significant changes to make it a better platform for the user. GameFound was built out of a, hey, board games have been around for a while. They become the dominant thing on crowdfunding, and we're still doing things like, hey, to get an add-on, here's a text box of all the stuff you can do, and just put extra money into the cart. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. GameFound came out the gate and said, here are all the things we can do to make this system better, and we should make it built around GameFound, built around board game crowdfunding. The evidence that this is true is the amount of features that Kickstarter has adopted from that list. They are constantly playing catch-up now with a platform that came later, meaning it obviously Kickstarter recognizes that the features that GameFound has incorporated are an asset to the platform and are trying to incorporate them. Anything from the page where you can just scroll down, which Kickstarter now has. Stretch pay is a huge deal. giving people the ability to buy $400 board games on your own budget as opposed to all at once. Stress Pay has become a very, very wanted feature. One big thing I've noticed over the past 2 years is 2 years ago, if you asked which platform people preferred, Kickstarter was generally chosen. The past 20 polls I've seen over the past 2 years, anytime there's a conversation in any board game space around which platform is preferred, the audience is heavily favoring GameFound at this point. GameFound ultimately has better tools for the... Sorry. GameFound ultimately has better tools for creators and audience alike. The only question at the end of the day right now is whether the audience is the audience that Kickstarter has, because it's a bigger audience, whether that drive-by traffic is enough to overcome the issues, is it enough to overcome the worst tool set. And usually the determining factor there is if you are a large creator or a small creator. If you are a large or medium creator who is able to bring your own audience, then usually you're bringing more people yourself to the platform that is better suited and has a higher conversion rate. Whereas if you aren't able to direct traffic, you'll be better off on Kickstarter. If you don't have a mailing list, if you don't have good advertising, if you aren't a larger creator, if you don't have an existing audience or an IP, you're better off on Kickstarter, because if you're relying on drive-by traffic, Kickstarter has more drive-by traffic. If you're able to direct your audience, then once you're able to direct your audience, GameFound has a higher conversion rate. That is the short summation of the two platforms. I can go into it all day long. This is my job, and I do it with creators all day long. But there's been a shift. If you look at the, four out of 5 of the highest funded board games this year have been on GameFound, and that's only going to continue to creep up. So yeah, I'm passionate about the platforms. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in my job. Ryan, in the upcoming Cyberpunk the board game, is it very different from last year's? It's so different. It's not even remotely the same. It's not. One's an area control game. One's a real-time game. A very good real-time game. But either way, successful. I have played Primal. I know cards will swap based on weapon, but I wasn't sure if it's always the same number. Only have 2 plays so far. Dwarf Furious. It means Alex is good at his job, though. I guess so, in theory. I'm far behind. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's 2 o'clock. Okay, we're gonna wrap this live stream up soon. Board Game Garden. LOL, not me already being here lurking. Brian, Board Game Garden. Jenna, I have to watch the vlog. I'm excited for the vlog. It's an hour-long vlog. I need to watch it. So me, Jenna, Aaron Taylor, definitely check out Jenna's channel, but I did get to demo Gen Con as well. I'll be posting it on Instagram in the next few days with my full thoughts. So me, when is Jenna Friday happening? I think Mecha's a room for you. When Jenna shows up, that's when it's happening. That wasn't said with any resentment in my tone. If you heard resentment, it was probably your imagination. The Board Game Garden. Hello, friends. Brian, speaking of which, when is Jenna's Vindication expansion with Alex happening? Brian. Oh, Jenna, that's right. Brian's paying for the gas money, remember? ACS, what is the inner deeper reason why certain games get to be in the wall of glory behind you? Oh, I've covered this a lot. It usually comes down to the boxes, whether I can hide other boxes behind them. So, for example, behind Tamashi, I have more Tamashi, because I don't want to hide games I'll forget about, and I don't want to waste space. So it's usually, can I hide more games behind you? I will say this wall actually has more that aren't in that bucket. Behind Cusco, nothing's behind Cusco. Behind Wonderland's War, nothing's there. I haven't fully settled into this. It's been survival mode for, I want to say for the past 3 months, but if I'm being honest, for the past 35 years. Let's see. It's okay, Jenna. No speaking. Rainwater. It's okay, Jenna. I lurk all the times. Lurkers unite, not challenge, just listening. Srebme. Brian, didn't you contribute funds to the Vindication trip? Brian committed to it, and Jenna didn't come yet. Board Game Garden. Life has been insane recently, guys. Finding a good time for Jenna's Friday has been a struggle. Successful Geek. When can we play more Vindication all together? I need more. Come on down. Drive down here. Bring a Primal insert. Board Game Garden. We could try to play an epic game of Vindication at WSBG, Alex. We could, but it feels like you're trying to get out of Jenna Friday again. It does feel that way. Rainwater Games. Jenna, today's only Thursday. A live stream, Nat! Oh my gosh, Nat, I miss you. That's the real question. George, you're asking the wrong questions. Who ranks higher? You, Srebmom, or Nat? Somewhere there. Successful. Rainwater, stress pay is dangerous. Yes, it is. Aaron Taylor, will you play Main Castle Burgundy on BGA? Sure, send me an invite leak. Press Meg, honestly, Kickstarter versus GameFound versus others like Backkit, it's better they both exist and continue to provide to force others to grow and improve. Absolutely agreed. Also, use GameFound. Gen Con plays board games. The Board Game Garden, looking forward to watching a Gen Con vlog. Press a Meg. I prefer multiple great platforms over one perfect platform that can also have Monopoly and no incentive to change. So the good news there is Kickstarter is not going anywhere. Kickstarter is always going to be trying to be present. That's the nice thing about the upside that GameFound and Backkit had over Kickstarter is Kickstarter's like, we're the only real people in the space, so we'll just do our thing. And they were able to come and take advantage of that kind of sitting still. GameFound knows full well they can never sit still. We can never sit still. There will always be Kickstarter or someone else coming out of the woodworks able to take over. It is our goal to not just get clients, but keep clients, because that we know this competition. Nat, I think Backkit is the best platform easily. Nat, you don't have to add the JK. I already knew that. Yohim, I wish I could stretch pay some shipping fees sometimes. Interesting conversation. I wonder about that. Let's see. Press Meg, Nat, I have a lovely Karmico package incoming. Press Meg, me too. You have great taste. Reading a lot of games. I feel like GameFound is a better vetting process leading to a higher chance of actually getting the game. I feel like you'll never get Unlikely Heroes or Hike It. Unlikely Heroes? Which one's that one? I don't know. So I will say this. At GameFound, I don't speak for our actual vetting process. I will say we have a vetting process, and we are very mindful that failures in crowdfunding are negative for everyone. It hurts people's confidence in crowdfunding, and we don't ever want a failure to happen. That's not to say a failure won't happen on GameFound. Statistically speaking, it will happen eventually. It has already happened for campaigns that we were a pledge manager for. It is unfortunate, but you can't perfectly vet for failures. You can do the best job you can, which we will always continue to do, but some things will fail, and it just happens. There's no way to perfectly vet for it. Successful Geek. One day I'll need to try this Karmico stuff. Seems suspect. Then Unemployed Lawyer. Bro, the star snapback looks fire. I would buy it. I'll admit the Karmico stuff does look kind of cool. Not my vibe, but it looks kind of cool. Like, not a personal vibe. Like an appreciation vibe, not a I'm going to wear that vibe. Professor Meg. The Board Game Guard infamous me. That's probably true. Nat Affle. Haha. Aaron Taylor. I already tried adding you. I'm incompetent board game on BGA. You added me to a game of Castle of Burgundy? Let's go check this out. Back on, let's see. Board Game Arena. Did you add me as a friend? Okay, if you added me as a friend on Board Game Arena, I never checked that tab. 1 second. Let's go here. We got that over there. Is it my turn? No, nope. Not going there. Not going there. Give me a second here. Let's go to here. Let's go to my notifications. How do I even go to my friends? Let's go to a friend invites there. 5 friend requests. Okay. Incompetent Board Gamer. Accepted. Okay. I'm going to do the rest later. You're accepted. There's 4 more people. I never checked that tab. Notice I'm not even on the list of Stravmon, George, or Nat. I'm so far down the list it's sad. Successful. That's probably not true. Animal Alaris, Stravmon and Nat are the friends meet. Christopher Guys, any interested in attending the Cleveland Gaming Classic? Don't know what that is. Nat Apfel, you're the most important list. This is my list. Richard Durr R, love you. Pappy just hates me. Cannot call me Poppy. Daddy's bad enough. Unemployed Lawyer, successfully you are second on my list. See Discord. Mommy is first. Gen Cam, hope you enjoy. Karmico is the best. Still not your turn, Alex. Ryan is being slow today. Ricardo, are you going to do any Elder Scrolls videos, or is the unboxing the only content you'll make for it? I will absolutely be doing other Elder Scrolls videos. I believe they are closing the pre-order September 6th, I think. I want to get videos before then. I also want to do a lot of things, so we will see. But I would love to get you videos. I've already played it twice since the unboxing, so I just need to play it more. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I appreciate you for keeping me busy throughout this live stream. I did not get a chance to show you Babyface Alex. We'll try to say that for the future. This beard is not going anywhere. I love the beard too much, which is a weird thing to say at the end of a live stream for those who weren't there at the beginning of the conversation. I recognize that now. In any case, until next time, I'm going to wander over there because I still haven't set it up that I can just push the button over here. So until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from BoardGameCo, and as always, I hope you have a good one.